This is Cult Film Face Off.
Hello and welcome to episode 28 of Cult Film Face Off. My name is Chet Roivers. With me as usual is Nick Leonard.
Word to your mums.
Before they butted heads both on screen and off in Universal Soldier, Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren each starred in one cult sci-fi actioner apiece. Cyborg from 1989 and I Come, Dark Angel from 1990. We'll do them in order of release, so we'll start off with Cyborg from 1989, directed by Albert Pyun, or as we call him on this show,
Albert Pyun.
Cyborg. In a post-apocalyptic future ravaged by a new human plague, Gibson Rickenbacker attempts to escort a female cyborg cross-country in an attempt to pass on vital information that could save the planet. Cyborg.
Welcome to the world of the not-too-distant future.
Get going! Go!
A brutal gang is reshaping the world into their own vision of hell. And only one man can stop them. Jean-Claude Van Damme is leading the battle between good and evil.
Take 'em out.
As it's never been fought before. He's on a desperate mission to rescue a cyborg who holds the secret for saving the world.
Why did you help me?
I don't want to see you die.
From the dust of destruction rises the warrior of a new age.
Say goodbye, my friend.
Jean-Claude Van Damme has become the first hero of the 21st century. Cyborg.
Okay, Cyborg by Albert Pyun. Had you seen this film before?
Yeah, I've seen it before, a long time ago. Over 20 years ago.
Fond memories of it?
I've got no memory of it, to be honest. It completely... I didn't remember anything about it. Apart from Jean-Claude Van Damme being in it, and obviously the baddie, very iconic looking kind of baddie on the front cover. But it had good front cover.
Yeah, it did actually, yeah.
As a lot of Cannon films, great front covers.
And actually a very, very good trailer as well. But it made no imprint back in the day.
No impact on me at all, and I can see completely why it had no impact on me at all.
Yeah.
So this is a post-apocalyptic cheapie from the Cannon stable. What I find funny about these post-apocalyptic movies is that it's the only gig for a hapless good guy is an escort mission.
Yeah, right.
On a road jam-packed with muscle-bound baddies dressed in subpar kiss band clobber, which inevitably involves a chick who's normally uncooperative. There's a hell in the beginning, but by the final reel, they're romantically attached. Yeah. So it's kind of got all these tick, 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 tick. Yeah. This is a shit film. Unless you're a Jean-Claude Van Damme purist, there's nothing really to recommend here.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is really bad. It's really bad. It's unrelentingly bad. I've never heard an electronic panpipe used so vigorously on a film.
I do remember it. Actually. It was fucking shit. I do remember it. Just you saying that, I was just like, oh god, I remember how shit the music was. It's so bad that it didn't leave an impression, but now I've just been reminded of it.
Have you seen Cyborg?
I saw, I think, probably the opening 15 minutes when I was a kid, and I remember it really upsetting me. I remember turning it off thinking it was a bit too much, because I would have been like 9 or 10 or something, and I think it was a bit too much. Watching it now, I was like, I think it maybe because there are loads and loads of executions in the beginning. Loads of people.
There's a lot of heads, a lot of beheadings.
Loads of beheadings. There's surrendering people being beaten to death and stuff. And there's that weird flashback where you see a girl pulling on barbed wire.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I just thought this is not what I want. So I had seen it. This is, it's unbelievably poor. This has a legitimate cult following, and I have no idea why. It's one of those films that's weird in that it's shot almost entirely in close-up, which is to disguise its complete and utter cheapness. You get there's a lot of shots where I thought, I bet if they just moved back with the camera, you'd see like some kids in a garden next door playing, because it seems like they're trying to crop out the world, which is basically what they were doing to try and make it look like. The thing is, the last time we talked about an Albert Pyun film was when Nemesis, and he obviously had more money then, so he was shooting a bit wider. This feels like it could have been entirely shot in someone's back garden, but it's like Nemesis. It's set in condemned buildings and sort of derelict building sites and refineries and stuff. But yeah, that film had a bit of scope to it, and this is just I mean, it's a really badly made film.
Have you got a favourite scene?
No.
I've got a favourite scene. It is genuinely a cool shot, and it's when Van Damme is in the sewers doing the splits, and it's just a wide shot, and he basically plunges the knife. He's doing the splits in the sewer, and he just perfectly drops down to stab the baddie underneath him.
Oh right,
That's it.
I don't even remember.
That's it. This was the last Cannon film that had a theatrical release before Cannon went bankrupt in 1987.
That doesn't surprise me at all. But it made money, didn't it? It was I heard it was like 5. I think they shot it
on the rental market. Or
no. I think it opened at number 4 in the American box office. It was made for $500,000, and I think it took in 10 million at the box office. It's not a super hit, but for Cannon, I think that must have been one of the most profitable films of their. because Cannon was you can tell Cannon was imploding at that point.
I see that the album Pyun. His master wig maker has been been utilised again. Oh fuck me! With the flashback sequences to Van Damme, he's wearing this amazing fucking hairpiece.
Of course, that's a shocking.
And it's don't think I can recall seeing a movie that has more times where guys go ah. I mean, literally. You could actually, if you could splice together every time a character went, it's like, unbelievable.
I mean, the thing about this is that it would be a painfully laborious film anyway, but it's punctuated by so many flashbacks and so many repetitive flashbacks and the same flashbacks over and over again, and there's loads of coverage that is completely irrelevant. I mean, the thing that I found funny, I mean, you were talking about cutting together people yelling. If you were to cut together pregnant pauses, or people staring into space, or people staring at each other instead of talking to each other, I mean, if you love dramatic staring contests, this is the film for you, because I reckon that's a substantial amount of the film. And normally, you have something like that because the actors are trying to convey something. There's nothing to convey, and the actors wouldn't be able to convey it anyway in most cases. So it's a lot of people staring off screen. The amount of time wasted, I was sitting there going, something happened, stop staring at each other.
But I think the thing is that they've done that because they're obviously trying to fluff up the running time.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a sequence where Jean-Claude Van Damme is kind of like he's crucifixed on this kind of ship mast.
Oh yeah. Goes on and on.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not believe how long that scene went on for. I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable.
But if you went back and watched it now, you've watched every conversation, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 words are exchanged, and it goes on for like at least a minute and a half of screen time. Where they're I mean, it's fucking shocking.
A terrible script. I mean, dialogue is. I mean, the action films in the 80s are not known for their their great dialogue. I mean, terrible dialogue.
Everything about this film. I mean,
it's just a walking wound. But I really like scars. What?
I mean, this is a colossal waste of Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, I think this is probably the waste of Jean-Claude Van Damme, because Albert Pyun did what he did in Nemesis, which is, in Nemesis he was presented with a world kickboxing champion, and he's like, oh great, give him a gun and throw one kick. Van Damme doesn't really... Whenever he fights anyone, the people he's fighting are so inept that they just kind of... and he just punches them, and the editing is so fast. And it's barely watchable. It's barely watchable. This isn't really an action film. It's a laborious walk punctuated by some very, very choppy... I mean, it's not... If you're a fan of Van Damme, I don't know how... There really is a community of people who think this is a good film. I don't know what's going on there at all.
There's so many other Van Damme films that are infinitely better than this crock of shit.
Is there a worse Van Damme film that you've seen?
Not than this.
No, this is it. This is the
Quest is meant to be terrible, but I can't imagine it being worse than this. I've never seen The Quest.
Neither have I, but I don't reckon it's going to be. I mean, hasn't that got Timothy Dalton in it?
I've heard Roger Moore in it.
Roger Moore, sorry. I knew it was one of the James Bonds, yeah. There is actually a good twist in this film, though. When his girlfriend's sister turns up as a member of Fender's Squad, I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Now, I mean, any single person listening to this can guess where that goes. Anybody. So, I mean, in a way, it's kind of like a hollow victory, because I was like, yeah, oh, cool, fuck, what's going to happen? Oh, she's going to have a crisis of conscience. And it's like, fuck off. Waste of fucking time. I read about the backstory of this film, and the backstory is legitimately fascinating, and it explains everything you need to know. I found this on Wikipedia. This is the abbreviated version of Wikipedia, but I have fact-checked it, so it's completely legit, but I'll read this out. Canon Films initially intended to make a sequel to the 1987 He-Man film Masters of the Universe and a live-action Spider-Man film. Both projects were planned to be shot simultaneously by Albert Pyun. I'll happily... I mean, if in an alternate universe, I wouldn't watch either at that time. Canon, however, was in financial trouble and had to cancel deals with both Mattel and Marvel Entertainment, the owners of He-Man and Spider-Man. Canon had already spent $2 million on costumes. I can't believe that. That's the one bit I can't believe.
What?
$2 million. They spent $2 million on costumes and sets for both. I mean, there are no sets. It's based. Yeah, I mean, absolute horseshit. Canon had already spent $2 million on the costumes and sets for both films and decided to start a new project to recoup the money spent on them. Pyun wrote the storyline for Cyborg in one weekend, which seems again like a little bit too long because you could have done this in an afternoon at best. So, I mean, you can tell that this was made during the death throes of Canon. And the thing that I found... have you heard about the alternate director's cut?
No.
It's called Slinger. It's available on Amazon. There's a Blu-ray of it. Slinger, it's called. Because, you know, he's been referred to as
Slinger,
Slinger, yeah. But the additional material, apparently, because they couldn't afford to do it properly, it's basically VHS quality, so it will cut in shots that weren't in the original cut.
But it's on Blu-ray.
It's on Blu-ray, but
Blu-ray release.
But they haven't updated the. I think Albert Pyun made it his. He distributes his own stuff. I think a lot of the time. But apparently, I mean, by all accounts, it's for fans only, like obsessive fans only. But it's bloodier apparently, and apparently Pyun was upset about the editing in the original, which I can understand because the act. If you
Jean-Claude Van Damme spent 2 months editing the film.
What he edited?
Van Damme, yeah, he saw the cut and he's like, no, he wasn't happy with it going out, so he spent 2 months going through the edit of the film.
Is that the finished version? Then? That's Van Damme. That's all his fault then. Because when there's a punch-up, it's it's unwatchably cut. So I have no... Because the thing about Nemesis was that actually was... Some of the action was competently done. It wasn't choppy.
I agree. The cutting of Nemesis is far and away better than the cutting. It was very, very choppy and sporadic.
Yeah. Just badly, ineptly done. So I can imagine this director's cut, Slinger, being the action scenes being better. But also Pyun says that Slinger is darker than Cyborg. And the one thing you don't need Cyborg to be is... I mean, I think Pyun's idea of dark is murky and horribly unpleasant to look at because it's an ugly fucking film. Also, I should mention, I mentioned it on the last episode about Grindhouse, the website, the superb website, movie-censorship.com, they have a breakdown. There's a very, very, I mean, like an absurdly detailed breakdown, again, about the differences between Slinger and Cyborg. I mean, it's pages and pages. So
is Slinger like a 90-minute, it's a fully fledged...
I think what he did is he re-edited the original footage and he took some stuff that had been cut, because he was locked out of the editing room. I didn't realise it was Van Damme that did the fucking editing.
Yeah.
That says a lot, because it's fucking...
Yeah, but it's odd though, you know, it's odd because you think that it doesn't really do him any favours showing off how good he is at martial arts. There's no kind of movement in it, it's all very, very close camera.
And that's anybody could have played that part, literally anybody. I think he roundhouse kicks one person and then everything else is like punch.
Yeah, there's definitely a slow-mo roundhouse kick.
Yeah, I think that's from what I recall. But the breakdown about what's different, it was so detailed and so lengthy. I was like, I am not interested enough in Cyborg to know what's different about the director's cut. But this is one of the ultimate con job movies. Movies like this are cons. Because they're not really action films. It's not really science fiction. There's not really a plot, and there certainly isn't a fucking story. It's just about there's just enough content that was shot to make a trailer. It's like they shot a trailer and you're watching the rushes. Like, where are the bits of the trailer? And consequently, the trailer is actually pretty good. And I can understand why it made 10 mil at the American box office, because you saw that trailer, but that looks really good. I mean, in a way, the trailer is the film because it's better edited. The story makes more sense, and it's 80% action rather than 5% action. The film's 5%.
I think I would rather watch the trailer than the whole movie.
Absolutely, 100%. Because the film's 5% action at best, and all the action's in the trailer, even though the action's fucking terrible. They did a bang-up job with the trailer, as Canon often did. But I won't say all of the good bits from the film were in the trailer, because there are literally no good bits in this film. I didn't think there was a single good bit, but the trailer does a great job of making you think that there might be good bits in it. So I can understand why people went to see it. But this is a fucking terrible con of a film, and it's shit. It doesn't have any redeeming features.
It's a crock.
It really is a crock, isn't it? Did you like anything about it? Nothing, right?
No, but no. Nothing.
Yeah, it's crap. I mean, I don't know. Cult status, where did that come from? What's the matter with you? All of you. All right. Well, I mean, you ready to move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, then. Let's move on to Dark Angel, A.K.A. I Come in Peace from 1990, directed by Craig R. Baxley. Uber-chilled Texas copper Jack Kane goes up against a drug-dealing alien who is offing the population of Houston with a combination of heroin and killer compact discs. Dark Angel, stroke I Come in Peace.
Houston, Texas. It's Christmas. Someone special's coming to town. And it's not Santa Claus.
I come in peace.
Jack Kane, a cop who does things his own way.
What are you doing? The shortcut.
He's sensitive, understanding, and kind to strangers.
Merry Christmas.
But all that's about to end.
I come in peace.
3 well-armed men have their throats cut before they can even draw their weapons. Who could possibly move that fast?
Aliens.
Say what? Are you crazy? It's true. You need a psychiatrist, Jack.
Your psycho stole a lot of heroin to kill people with.
What are you gonna do? Tell them we're fighting drug dealers from outer space? Huh? Human body carries a small electrical charge, right? You tune the disc to the charge and then...
What the hell is going on here?
As far as you're concerned, this case is closed. It's not our problem anymore. I've had a bad day.
Dolph Lundgren.
And you go in pieces.
Dark Angel.
Okay, so Dark Angel. Let's just call it Dark Angel for the sake of argument. What did you, have you seen this before?
Yeah.
When did you first see it?
Well, you put it on. I was baked off my head. Definitely. I mean, I just remember very clearly the sequence where all of the white guys are getting like done, ding, 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 CD kill, CD kill, CD kill, CD. I only remember that, and obviously remembered the main baddie in it.
Yeah, right.
You know, but I had no recollection of anything else.
I remember when I showed you that film, we accidentally fast-forwarded past some of the best action scenes in it, so they must have been new. I'm sure. I remember just like some of the best bits weren't in it. We were just not really. Yeah. Anyway, so how did it hold up?
Man, I mean, I had a fun time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So first of all, talking about soundtracks, right? This is the absolute mirror opposite of the soundtrack of Cyborg.
Yeah.
This is Jan Hammer. Yeah. This is a fucking great soundtrack.
It's impossible to get hold of. You know, it's like it's wrapped up in legal problems.
Okay.
People are lobbying for it to be released, and it's completely unavailable. The only way you can hear it is people have put sections of the film on YouTube and doctored out the dialogue and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's one of those films that I wish I had seen it when I was a kid, because if I was the 12-year-old kid in me was just like, just you know, like a pig in shit.
Yeah, right.
It was great, just a really fun. Went by really quickly. Some nice action, some very competently done action sequences, car chases, bad humour, really corny dialogue. You know, just tick tick tick. You know, I really enjoyed it.
Good.
When's the first time you saw it? And
I saw it the year. I mean, when it first.
You saw it as a kid.
I saw it as a kid when it came out on. So it came out in 1990, and I would have seen it 6 months after it came out in the cinema over here. everybody our age, everybody really has something in pop culture that they can't be objective about. For a lot of people I know, it's Star Wars. They just enjoy Star Wars. They just love Star Wars. They have no desire to assess it, and if you criticise it, they don't want to hear it, and they're not really interested. I feel like I don't have anything, but apart from this. This film is something that I love. Literally, it's in my top 10 films of all time, so I'm going to try and be objective about it, but I may fail, but I thought it was important to point that out. I don't think Dolph Lundgren has ever been better, and I don't think he's ever been cast better, because from what I know about Dolph Lundgren, which is, literally stuff that I've gauged from interviews and stuff, he's an incredibly well-educated man, but he knows who he is. He's got no delusions about his place in the world or his career. He doesn't think he's something that he isn't. He's a very humble dude. Yeah, very, very chill, very, very level-headed. And Jack Kane in this film is the most laid-back protagonist of an action film I've ever seen. He's not a loose cannon, he's not suicidal, he's not impulsive. I mean, I think the first bit of real characterisation is when Smith goes back to his apartment and sees that he spends his money on abstract art and drinking. He chills out and drinks wine all the time. For a cop movie, for the lead, I thought he is perfect in that role. And also Brian Benman, who plays Smith, is excellent. His partner.
He plays an excellent little small,
a condescending
little pen pushing. Axe to grind, jobs worth.
But he's also completely clueless. I mean, I think that formula, it's time worn. Yeah. Those things put up against it, because he never stops being a dick. You always think that guy's just a dick, but you do come to like him because he's just such a gormless dick. He's really fucking good in that part.
It's interesting. I've never seen him in anything else. I knew Brian Benben, right?
Yeah.
So I knew him from a series that was on in the 90s called Dream On.
I remember that.
Which was basically Leisure Suit Larry, but a television series.
Yeah. Wasn't it? I mean, I remember it being the plaudits it got when it was on. I haven't seen it since then, but I mean...
No, I haven't. I like watching it as a kid. I think it was just like loads of leery, fucking there's loads of fit chicks in it. Right?
Yeah. It was HBO though, wasn't it? It was really well regarded back in the day, I'm sure. Yeah. But I reckon he's one of the... He's married to Madeleine Stowe. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, he's married to Madeleine Stowe. He's one of those actors that has, I reckon in the next 5 years he'll turn up in a Louis C.K. sitcom.
What's he been in film-wise?
Not really anything for ages. He's one of those actors who I think is going to just appear, maybe in an indie film or something. He'll come back because I think he's really terrifically good. This film's directed by former stuntman Craig R. Baxley. He is one of the great journeyman action film directors, and that sounds like an oxymoron, but I mean it as a compliment. He's efficient, no nonsense, and he really just gets great coverage. I think that's really important. He's like a slightly poor man's Andrew Davis.
But then it completely makes sense. I didn't know the director has his stunt history back, because it's very stunt heavy.
There's no shortcuts either. There's actually genuinely good stunt work in it. But yeah, Craig R. Baxley, he's from that school, like Andrew Davis, who made The Fugitive, Under Siege, etc. They make movies like they're building clocks, and I think that approach has always been underrated. I mean, when we spoke about Nemesis ever many episodes ago, we were kind of making excuses for Albert Pyun because he clearly thinks he's an artist, and at the same time you're like, what's going on here? You never don't know what's going on in Dark Angel. That's an underrated feeling in a B movie. I mean, Craig R. Baxley has directed some fucking crap.
What has he done?
Stone Cold, he did.
What's that?
With Brian Bosworth. Have you not seen that?
Stone Cold?
You haven't seen Stone Cold?
Brian Bosworth? No.
The former... Okay, we have to do an episode with Stone Cold, because that's one of those... But it's like this. It's one of those films that you sit down and go, this is going to be crap, and go, well, that was actually really good.
No.
Oh, okay, Stone Cold, that's one talk. Lance Henriksen's in it. Have you not seen it? He infiltrates a biker gang?
No.
Oh, mate, we've got to watch that. Okay,
that sounds good.
He also did Action Jackson, which was,
Yeah.
I don't think you could... that's not a great film, but you could... I wouldn't criticise it for being badly directed. You just have no questions. This bad guy can apparently turn a compact disc into an electromagnet and tune it to the electrical charge emitted by a person. And I have no idea whether that's scientifically possible, but you know what it is, and you understand how it works. You know that a drug dealer is putting heroin into people and then extracting the There's no point. It feels like this. You're like, hang on a minute, isn't that you know exactly what's going on? And the bits of business, just the little bits of plot, are really good. I don't know whether it's a cliche, but I remember when I was a kid and I first saw the introduction to Jack Kane, where he's on the stakeout listening in to this sting operation where they're trying to convince these guys to buy cocaine, and he gets distracted by these people robbing a liquor store next to him. And I thought, what a brilliant idea.
It was a great juxtaposition of those two things going, how they're going to play out. I did think it was Carl Weathers. I was there going, what the fuck? Is that Carl Carl Weathers.
Wait, what, in the drug deal?
No, it's not Carl Weathers. But no, literally for a split second, I was there going, oh my god, Dolph Lundgren and Carl Weathers have been in another film apart from Rocky 4. It's a good shit look like.
I'll spice that into the video. But that's just a really good, believable dilemma. He has to act.
A stick up in a liquor store is just a brilliant 80s staple, like real scumbag robbers.
But I was watching it this time and I thought, is that a cliche? Am I giving that too much value? I just thought that's a really neat way to sort of do that thing. You know, it's inarguably his fault. I mean, Dolph Lundgren's grief over his partner dying. I mean, 15 minutes later, he doesn't seem to even give.
That's being generous. I mean, he gets over in 5 minutes.
I meant 15 on-screen minutes, like 2 seconds on-screen, perhaps. Another thing that I just love about this film, and it's something again. This is the 9-10-year-old kid in me. The guns that the aliens have, they basically...
The guns are awesome!
They fire explosions, but rather than just being like bang, 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 you can hear this little rotor blade ticking over. So it feels like it's got a mechanism that's pumping out these explosions. It's just so satisfying when you see someone... It's the kind of thing that you think of...
There's a load of pyrotechnics every time those were fired off.
Yeah, blowing cars blowing up and shit and everything. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that it nails something that you think would be the coolest thing in history when you're a kid.
I mean, I love Michael versus Michael.
Michael versus Michael?
Michael Bolton versus Michael Keaton. The two aliens.
Michael Keaton.
He's an absolute spit.
The good guy.
The one with his hairline is kind of halfway back. Michael Keaton and Michael Bolton. And I love the fact that they're harvesting humans to find the most potent party drug in the galaxy.
Right.
I imagine them being like some fucking techno promoters on their planet.
This is
who wants it?
This is why it's so good, because most films like this, you don't. Cyborg, did you think anything about that future? Because it wasn't convincingly done. The first time I saw this, and today, you just think, I wonder what their planet's like. I wonder what's going on.
Mate, they are they're obviously like rival promoters, you know? Trying to find the best drugs for their parties. There is something a bit Sven-Vappy about Michael Bolton as well, so I was completely on that. They do dress like they are like the managing directors of Cyberdog.
I'm so sorry, I have to go back and look. Actually, do you know who the good alien is?
No.
His name's Jay Bilas. He's an ex-college basketball player, and he's now like a big ESPN.
What is that, Anchorman?
Yeah. It's really weird. You look at him now, you're like, that's not the same guy.
What?
It is, yeah.
Was he in any movies?
He was in. He now sort of does movies as like a basketball coach, like totally fitting.
Right.
But yeah, weird career trajectory. The other guy, Matthias Hughes, who plays the bad alien, he's very effective in this. I mean, I've seen him.
He's cropped up in a lot of old 80s martial arts because he's like kickboxing champion, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's German kickboxing champion.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
All I know is that he's one of those guys that just appears, and you see him in the back. I watched some god-awful English football hooligan movie.
And he's in it.
And he was there as a heavy, and I'm just like, he gets steady work, but on Twitter, like, God bless him, he's almost 60 years old, and every so often he'll go, guys, it's coming, the paperwork's almost being signed, Dark Angel 2, I better make sure my knees will hold up, and it's tragic because, like, it's blatantly not going to happen, much as I want it to, and B, you wouldn't be in it anyway. Then why would they cast a 6-year-old man as an alien that's already dead? But I would. I mean, I really. Of all the films that I'd love.
So did this make money in the box office?
I don't think so.
Right.
It's one of those films that I am confident made its money back and then some on home video, because it's the amount of people that used to speak very highly of it. I mean, admittedly, we were all children, but it's one of those things that I'm sure got by on good word of mouth. There's some. Well, I'll say there's two very, very strong supporting performances. One is Michael J. Pollard as Boner, who basically plays Michael J. Pollard when they basically go into that
God.
And that layabout snitch who thinks everything's a joke. I mean, it's not a great performance or anything.
Well, I can tell you who also I think is really good is the police chief, who is the police chief in Justified. It has to be.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, I looked at him and I was like, how do I recognise him? And I was like, he's the fucking police chief in Justified.
Hold on, we've got to check that. I can't believe I missed that. Hold on a second. Bridges of Madison County, The Peacemaker, Justified. Lemuel Briggs. Fuck, it was. Oh God, how didn't I spot that? Shit. I still need to go
I
back.
mean, literally, he's the exact role that he plays in Justified.
I don't know how I didn't pick up
The
on
ball-breaking fucking police chief.
I mean, aside from Boner, who I mentioned, one of my favourite supporting characters in film history is in this. Bruce the Scientist, played by Mark Lowenthal.
Right, yeah.
His introduction is amazing when he turns up and he's...
Oh, is he not?
I need to relax. It's a really... I mean, he's really completely believable. He's not a mad scientist because he's not the villain and he hasn't got a scheme as such. But he's totally paranoid. He brews his own industrial strength coffee, and he's just gorging on drugs when he realises that there's all these pills there, and he's just popping pills. I mean, that's the kind of guy that you would imagine someone to come up with an evil scheme. I love that performance. This film was written by Leonard Mass Jr. Now, I don't know whether... There's a lot of sort of conflicting information about who actually wrote the original draft of this screenplay, but Leonard Mass Jr. is on the IMDb, and it's a pseudonym for David Coeb, who is... I mean, I think he's probably the Hollywood screenwriter. He's one of the biggest Hollywood screenwriters there's ever been, and he's one of the only screenwriters who's had a career that spanned like 30 years. He's working on that new Mummy film with Tom Cruise. Jurassic Park.
Banging trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer.
Banging trailer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I've got a lot of time for Tom Cruise. He did the original, but David Coeb is one of the guys. I think one of the great Hollywood screenwriters. This is why this film feels so accomplished. I mean, I even like the romance in it with his girlfriend.
Yeah, she's punching above her own weight.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of love
Dolph
this.
is stud.
But their work colleagues.
Stone cold stud.
Their work colleagues. She's as smart as him, if not smarter, and she's not a bimbo. I mean, when I look at them together, I'm like, they'd make great parents. I think partially the reason I think that is because if they make great parents, they'd have a kid, and then Dark Angel 2 would be about the son. And then Bad A would have had a bun in the oven when he left and all that stuff. So, wishful thinking on my part. I wish there was a sequel to this. There won't be. I like the fact that it's shot in Houston, Texas. It's rather than being a fucking another Los Angeles film, it genuinely feels... because Houston's like a metropolis and stuff, but it doesn't really feel like a bustling city. It's got a very weird vibe to it that I really, really quite like. I don't think there's anything I dislike about this film. I just think it moves... It delivers what you want, and then some, and then it stops. I mean, this is legitimately one of my 10 favourite films of all time.
Well, I don't know what way you're going to go then between this and Cyborg.
We should probably have put this against maybe Time Cop, but that's not really that great either.
Time Cop's not great.
Yeah, I mean, I was always going to be biased. I was hoping that maybe you'd see something in Cyborg, and then there'd be a.
No, I mean, it's a whitewash.
Yeah, it is. It is a whitewash. We should have done something a bit. Poor Dolph. Sorry, not Paul Dolph. Paul Jean-Claude. I mean, but to be honest, we could have put Jean-Claude Van Damme's best film against Dark Angel.
No, he's not done anything. He's not done anything. Again?
I remember the JCVD.
I've never seen JCVD.
It's legitimately a good film. I mean, well, no, that's going too far. It's not legitimately a good film. It's just it. Do you know what? That's one of those films that I think you have to go in expecting it to be terrible and just be like, whoa, that's... I think in the cold light of day, it's not genuinely a good film.
Isn't it? So it's a mockumentary about him, right?
No, it's not. He plays himself, but it's pretty straight. But there's a bit at the end where he basically.
Is there a big monologue where he breaks down?
That's right. Yeah. And it was praised. I think rightfully so.
Yeah.
I do like Die Hard and Hockey Stadium that he did, and I do like.
Oh yeah, that was alright.
Sudden Death. Yeah,
that's alright.
And I remember
Kickboxer.
Well, Kickboxer.
Kickboxer's good.
You go for Bloodsport's good.
Oh no, sorry. Well, yeah, Bloodsport.
The one we did.
No, Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Bloodsport's his best film.
I think that's probably right. Although I wouldn't.
I want to see I'd like to see. No Retreat, No Surrender was the first film I ever saw Jean-Claude Van Damme in. I loved it as a kid. I'm sure it doesn't hold up very well today, but Jean-Claude Van Damme's good because he's a baddie.
That's right. Yeah, he well, like all of those guys, he doesn't really play a baddie often enough. Although Dolph made a pretty good baddie in Universal Soldier.
And Rocky IV.
Of course.
The Siberian Bowl!
I don't have anything to add. I mean, I love... I mean, like I said, I'm completely and utterly biased, but I suppose I'll leave it down to your good judgment. Where are we going? I take it...
Yeah, we're going one way.
Okay, excellent stuff. All right, well, thank you very much for listening. Please do check out our website, especially the blog page, to see what the next 2 episodes that we're recording are. And please do get involved if you've anything to add whatsoever, even a joke, A shit lookalike would be amazing. If you spotted a shit lookalike.
Yeah, please.
We're a sucker for a shit lookalike. And if you feel passionately about any of the films, any of that stuff, literally any correspondence, we love that stuff.
Yeah, and you think we got this wrong as well? You know, there's some Cyborg fans out there. You know, tell us tell us why you love it.
Yeah, send us an email and explain why we're so goddamn on all that Cyborg. But yeah, all of that stuff is much appreciated. But thank you very much for listening. Facebook, Twitter, all of that stuff, YouTube. Check us out. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.